Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. We out here, we rolling. We on the road to 100K. Let's get there. Let's get there. As y'all can see, I've been moving around with these videos, man. I've been dog tired. I've been like, you know, but I try to get this content out to y'all. Try to get it out of me and get it to y'all so we can all, you know, grow from it, learn from it, teach from it, and give it to the people who need to hear it the most. These young people out here in the streets. I've been reading them comments, although y'all think I don't read them comments, and you know, a couple of people coming in there thinking I don't read them because I may miss some or I may not give them the response that they was looking for, but I read them all. I try to read them all. Sometimes they get in the hundreds and hundreds. The other day I had almost 400 comments, so I do take the time to read them all, but you know, it does take time. But I heard y'all out there, and I'm listening. I'm listening in. So, you know, just be patient with me. I'm trying to multitask and do a lot of things. All of this is new to me, and it's coming at full speed. So I'm blocking and ducking and bobbing and weaving. But we gonna make it happen. We in this together. We in this together. So let's go. We on the road to 100K. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell them something about us. What we doing over here with this positive energy. With that being said, one person in the comments that I got on my mind while I was going to make this, I was going to make another video, but as I told y'all, when I sat in front of the camera, whatever is hitting me at the moment, that's what I try to, you know, talk about. And this one dude was saying to me, I can't remember his name right now, but I do remember you, and you know who you are because you will remember this comment when I said it. But you were more or less saying to me like, yeah, Banky, we know about all your, you know, things that you done in prison, and we know you're not scared and you a warrior, blah blah blah. But tell us about your losses, man. Tell us about, you know, when you took some L's, man. I think it, you know, the people want to hear that. And I was saying to myself, I'm trying to figure out what part of any video that I did where you did not figure that was an L. You know, even if I didn't die or I didn't get my eye put out or get a colostomy bag or get my head busted, they were all L's, my dude. All L's, because I was still incarcerated. I was still in prison. I was still without my freedom. I was still not around my family. I was still not around my kids. They were all L's. Only thing I did in prison was survive. I did not have any W's, man. There was no wins in there for me. None. I just survived. There was no wins, man. You know, and I don't know if you understand that concept, but for me, from my point of view, there were no wins. I just survived because I was losing every day, and I was losing time on my life. I was losing time away from my family. I was losing family members. I was losing friends. I was losing hope. You understand me? So they were all L's for me, my dude. You know, and I understand the way you phrase the question and from your perspective. But I'm letting you know from my perspective, they were all L's. And that's why I say what I say, because I want these young people out here to understand that they were L's. It just so happened the L's didn't cost me, you know, a trip to the upper room, you know, and I'm glad from that, and I'm thankful for that. But they were all L's, man. Even when I prevailed, they were L's because I still had a price to pay. And just thinking about that comment and thinking about, you know, what I wanted to talk about today was that, you know, man, the greatest L's, man, you know, and I may do, y'all let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of this video, because I don't want to do a long one right now, because it's going to definitely put me in what's the word I want? A melancholy mood, man, because Man, I took some great L's by being locked up, man. You know, number one, just being locked up. You know, being without your freedom, your liberty. You know, and you know, being able to make your own choices and do the things that you want to do in life, or become the person that you feel you could become in life. You know, so that's the biggest L off the top. But man, in the 33 years I was locked up, some of the biggest L's I took was loss of life, man, loss of family members, loss of people that I loved, people that I grew up with, people that raised me, people that were monumental in my life. You know, not being able to see them as much because of my position, if at all, and them, you know, losing their life before I could even get out here back, you know, to the free world. So going into prison and being in there for as long as I did, coming out, and people that I knew and grew up with and raised me, and family members and close and stuff like that, to lose them before I ever get out, for them to only remember or go to their last days or take their last breath, for them to only remember me being incarcerated, man, that's a pain that's it's unexplainable, man. It's unexplainable. And I've lost some people that was near and dear to me, man, during my incarceration. You know, and the first big blow that I can remember taking was you know, my uncle. You know, my uncle Ronnie, rest in peace. You know, his name was tatted on my arm. You know, this was, you know, like a father figure to me. He was the dude who raised me. The dude who instilled the principles that I still, you know, display to this day. And you know, it's my mom's oldest brother, and he was a warrior. He was a, you know, a soldier, and yeah, he a lot of me comes from him. And I can remember, you know, losing him, and you know, and as I told y'all probably in previous videos, you know, I lost my father when I was very young, maybe 12, 11, 13, somewhere around that age. So, you know, he was always a father figure to me. He was always in my life prior to and even, you know, after losing my father. So, you know, he was more or less like a father to me as well. And to lose him was devastating to me, man. It put me in a real messed up state of mind in prison, you know, because I could remember getting the news, and you know, thank God it was a female CO that was in the booth. It was, you know, like mad cool and super cool with me, and she called me up there and told me that they wanted me in the counselor's office. And I remember walking up there and going to the counselor's office, and you know, this had never happened, so I didn't know what the play was. I didn't know what was going on. So, you know, I get up there and she want me to she tells me, you know, I got some family emergency and I need to call home. And I'm like, what? And she was like, yeah, they're gonna let you make a call. So she let me make a call in the counselor's office, and I called home, man, and found out that, you know, my uncle had passed away. And man, I didn't even know what to do, man. I didn't even know what to do. It was like a dream. It was like you in a dream state. I was like, huh? You know, because I felt like all of my life, I felt like he was, you know, indestructible, like he was invincible, like he, you know, he couldn't possibly die or be killed, or, you know, I just didn't, you know, that's the way I looked at him. He was like a superhero to me. And when I heard that, man, and I it was like I was in a cloud. And I was like, man, okay, and I gotta go. And I get off the phone, and my counselor was like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I gotta go. Because I didn't want to be around nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody because I was like in a numb state. And I remember coming back in the block, and I went to the booth, and I guess the lady in the booth had already knew what the information was before I did. You know, that's why she told me to go to counselor, but she was cool. So I remember coming back, and I went in there to the booth, and I was like, open my door, please, open my door. So I just walked away from the booth, and I go to my cell, and she opened my door, and I go to the cell, and I go to the cell, and my cell is not in there. I get the door closed. I close the door. I close it up, and cover the door up, man, and I was just in there, man. I was just crying, man. You know, it was all I could do. You know, it was all I could do. You know, I was just like, man. And the only thing that just kept running up in my mind was all the times that I spent with him, all the things that he told me, all the knowledge that he put into me, all the discipline that he gave me, all, you know, everything, and just remembering, you know, moments I spent with him, times I spent with him. And then it's, you know, the reality set in, it's like, boom, now I won't never be able to see him again. You know what I'm saying? I'll never be able to see him again. You know, and I'm stuck up in here in this dungeon, you know, by being an idiot and doing foolishness, and then I never see him again. You know what I'm saying? Never see him again alive. You know, and it was, yeah, it was devastating, man. It was a major blow to me. And when things like that happen to you in prison, you know, like I say, it puts you on a collision course for real to really be, you know, to make things even worse. It's already bad, you know, because you mad and you have nowhere to lash out. You have no way to let the anger out. And, you know, at any moment your cell partner coming back, now you got to share your space with somebody else, you know what I'm saying, who ain't did nothing to you at all, but now you mad at him just because he's in your space. You know what I'm saying? Then when you don't want to go out in the block because somebody look at you wrong or say something to you wrong, then you ready to latch out at them. The anger that you have and the frustration that you have is because of the situation that you are in. And the situation that you are in is because of the actions that you took and you put yourself in the situation. And these are going to be some of the consequences that you're going to have to pay. The people that you love and people that you have been in your life for your entire life, you may not never see them again living because you're in a space where you can't even, you know, show support. You can't even show, anything about why they're gone. You can't even be there. You can't even show comfort to the rest of your family. You can't even grieve together. You can't even mourn together with your family. You just stuck. And man, it just messes you up. And it messed me up because this was the first real blow that I had took like that. And it was a major blow because this was a major figure in my life. And man, I was out of it, you know. And I'm in there, man, and I'm bawling and I'm crying and I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to get in a good headspace. And then the door starts shaking and I'm like, what, you know, and I thought my seller was coming, but it's shaking the door. That means you got to come to the booth. They call him. So I come out and I come to the booth and I'm like, what's up? You know, you got to try to clear your face up because you don't want to be walking out there and you know, your eyes red, you crying. You know, my eyes look funny anyway. So now, you know, they look puffy, and now I'm walking out here. Then dudes is looking at you. And then you get defensive. You know, so I go to the booth. I'm like, what's up? And she was like, you all right? You all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. She was like, yo, I just seen the way you was. And, you know, your people calling up here and they calling up here. They want you to call home. You know, and I'm like, I already called. And they said, yeah, they called back. They want you to call or something. So I'm like, man, So I go to the state phone and I get on the state phone and I call home and you know, and then I'm talking to my mom and she's trying to explain to me and ask me, am I all right? And I don't even want to talk. And I'm like, you know, and it's like it's replaying in my head. It's like, man, boom, you know what I'm saying? He gone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how is he gone? You know, he had a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, and she tried to talk to me, and then she putting other people on the phone that I didn't want to talk to everybody. So I ended up getting off the phone, and I remember I just hung it up so hard, like, bang! You know, and then, you know, I'm mad, and I'm trying to go back to the cell. Then she hit my door, and she called me like, you all right? Are you sure you? I'm like, I'm good, man. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking across the pod to go back to my cell, and I'm like looking at everybody like, you know, say something to me. Just, you know, I was on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had nowhere else to release my pain. You know, and I was in pain. You know what I'm saying? Because he meant a lot to me, and I knew I would never see him again alive. So it was horrific, man. It was horrific. You know, but you know, thank God. You know, like I say, I end up getting, getting through it, obviously. And, you know, I was trying to go to the funeral, man. You know, I wanted to go to the funeral, and I'd never been to a funeral besides my grandmother, who was, you know, man, probably the most, dearest person to my heart in my lifetime to this day, you know. And, I think I spoke about it before, but yeah, she passed away when I was real young, but I just remember her so much. As y'all already know how my memory is, but I remember her so much, as a child, man, that I was like her favorite, and she just loved me so much. And then she ended up, passing away. And I was a kid, man. I couldn't even been 5 years old, and I could remember, just being with her every day. Then I had to go to the funeral, and I'm looking at her, in the casket, and I'm like, where Grandma at? Why she ain't moving? Why she? And they just messed me up, and I haven't never been to a funeral since, and I don't want to go to any of them. And but I was trying to go to his because that's how much he meant to me while I was in prison. But they wouldn't even let me go. I couldn't even get permission to go. You know what I'm saying? That's how hard they is, and it was like, nah, you can't go. So that was even just another blow. Yeah, that was like another blow, that made me angry. Now I'm ready to lash out at them. Well, why? And it was like, well, because you can, because we don't have the security, all this, and it was crazy. My people was willing to pay the extra money that you have to pay. Your people have to come out of pocket for something like that to happen. And they was willing to pay that just for me to attend, but they would not let me go. They said because of my crime, because of my prison history of violence, they didn't feel safe letting me go, somewhere. It was just crazy, man. So yeah, it was a devastating moment for me, man. It took me a long time to regroup and get myself together, where, I felt like I wouldn't do something stupid because of what was going on with me internally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, usually when things like that happen in prison, I isolate myself. I try to stay in the cell and work out and read and stay away from people because I knew that I was a ticking time bomb, and I didn't want to, get myself in a worse situation. And I knew my family was worried about me. I knew they was concerned. They was, kept calling up there. They wanted me to call home because they knew that my mental state of mind was messed up. So yeah, man, that was like one of my first big major losses, man, of life. Of life. While you're doing time, and you're helpless. And over the years, man, as y'all know, I did so much time, man. It just became a continual cycle, man. And I think the next one was me losing my grandmother. My great grandmother, which I called my grandmother because that's just how close we were to her. Everybody in the family was that close to her. This was my father's mother. So she was actually my great grandmother, but we always just called her Granny, and yeah, man, she was just a sweet, sweet soul, man. And I remember when I had to call home and find that information out, and yeah, it was crazy because I hadn't even seen her since I had been locked up. So when that reality sets in, that you go to prison, and you don't end up having a visit from anybody that in particular that you're talking about, like the people we're talking. So you never get a visit from them because she was an older woman or whatever. So you never get a visit from them, not because they don't want to visit you, just because it just hasn't happened. And this, it's just it would have been a real big thing for her to do that and go. And you don't want them to go through that when you learn the things you learn about prison. You don't want your grandmother going through what she have to go through to come in there. But just, I never had seen her since I've been locked up. Letters, talk on the phone, and all of that, but physically seeing her, I had not seen her. So when you get that reality that someone is so special to you and so important to you that you ended up, going to prison for faults of your own, the things that you've done wrong in life, and now they're gone, and it's not when you get out you be able to see them and be able to hug them and tell them how much you love them and miss. You'll never be able to do that again, man. You'll never be able to do that again, and that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow, especially, like I say, for people that mean so much to you. That's why when people in prison, when they get the loss of their mom or their pops, someone that they lived with, grew up with, that was so close to them, like their mother or their father, if they grew up with their father or they grew up with their mother, when they lose those people, man, 9 times out of 10 in prison, they lose their mind. They lose their mind. Somebody usually get hurt. They usually just do something because you're in a hate factory. You're surrounded by hate. You're surrounded by, craziness and foolishness and violence. And then you trying your best to focus to make it through this situation so you can get back to the people you love. Now, while you're trying to do that to get back to the people you love, the people that you love are just, falling off of the earth, and it's just a devastating blow, man. It's like, man, I'm doing all this to get back, but what's gonna be left when I get back out there? And I've known people that have been locked up for 30, 40, 50 years and lost everybody in their family. Mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. I knew one particular cat, he lost so many people, and like everybody in his family, when it came time they did was ready to go home after like 43, 44 years, he was like, I don't want to go. He said, I don't want to go. I was like, what you mean you don't want to go? He said, he ain't got nobody out there, man. I ain't got nobody, everybody dead, man. Everybody dead. He said, even if I go out, I got to go to a halfway house. He said, everybody dead, man. My mom, my dad, my uncles, my sister, my brother. Cut everybody dead, man. And I'm like, wow, man, those are big losses. That's what L's are. Those are losses. You know what I'm saying? When you losing family members and you can do nothing about it and you helpless, super helpless, man. And it's just it's a devastating feeling, man, of just, weakness. You just feel like, man, I put myself in this position. And even if you was home, we all know and acknowledge if you was home, you couldn't do nothing to change what has happened. But you could at least been there to comfort the rest of your family. You could have at least been there to just show your love, man. You couldn't. It's just, man, it's hard to explain, man. It's hard to explain. And then, like I say, people who were going through things like cancer or was just getting weak of old age, you could have been there in the process with them to walk them out of this life, to show them how much you love them, to show them how much they meant to your life, how much how much influence they had over your life, and to let them know, personally, that my flaws was nothing to do with you, nothing with what you instilled in me, nothing with what you, taught me. It was all my flaws. I was never able to do that. Never able to do that, man. That's something that you got to live with. That's something to be, in your heart for the rest of your life. It's nothing that you can shake. It's nothing that you can get around. That's what it is, And that be the major thing, man, that goes on with people that's locked up. They be devastated and or crazy when they lose their parents, man, or they lose a sibling or something like that, or something happened majors out there that they cannot do anything about, where they feel like if they was out there, the circumstances would have been different, and yeah, it's tough, man. It's really, really, really tough. I'm telling you, and like I say, it just kept coming for me, and once it started, it just kept going, Then I lost my grandmother, then I ended up losing, my other grandmother, which was her daughter, and I actually used to live with her in D.C., so, that was a major blow as well, and it just kept coming, man. It was horrific, it was horrible, and it's still horrible, so yeah, those are the biggest losses, man. I thought I could make this video long, but I can't, because it's getting me in a real bad state of mind. So, y'all, like, comment, share, subscribe, man. But I'll do a part 2 if y'all, request it or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. We on the road to 100K, man. We gonna try to get there. But man, trust and believe me, man. Share these videos, man, and talk to you young people out here. Let them know, man, how precious life is, man. And you got these people in your life that you love, man, and you go in prison, and first and foremost, anything can happen to you. You're not guaranteed to come out. But while you're in there, man, there's a whole lot that can happen to the people that you love as well. A whole lot, and you may not never even see them again. So keep that in mind as you move, out here in the free world, man, before you make a bad decision. Life is precious, and we only get one, and once people gone, they gone, and we're not going to see them no more. So, you know, like I say, in every lesson is a blessing, man, and the blessing is you out here right now. So love your family, man, and appreciate the people that's around you. Appreciate the people that raised you. Appreciate the people that instill their love, time, and kindness in you, man. Appreciate them. Let them know. Go over their house. Talk to them. Go see them. Give them a phone call. Don't grow up and get older and just go on about your way and don't remember all of this love that was put inside of you, man. Go visit your people. Give them a call. Call them today and let them know you love them. Call your grandmother if you're blessed to still have. Call your mother. Call your father. You know what I'm saying? Call your sister. Call your brother, man. Because you're blessed if you still got them. Because there's a lot of people that don't believe that, man. So that is the blessing in this lesson. If you got them, love them, appreciate them, and let them know it. Even if you don't get it back, just get it off of your heart. Get it off of your soul, man. You know, be proactive in that. But in the meantime, in between time, man, y'all be safe out there. Y'all be smart, make good decisions. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell them about what we got going on over here, man. Positive energy all the way, man. Peace and love, and y'all duck them hooks, man. Boom, boom, boom. Appreciate you.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young.
I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.